In this video, we'll be going over how to check if two figures are similar to one another. Now, before we go into seeing which one of these figures is similar to letter A, we first need to discuss what makes two figures similar. And it's actually quite easy. In order to check if two figures are similar, all you have to make sure is, do those two figures have the same scale factor? Now, before we can check if these two figures, A and B, are similar, we have to know, do they have the same scale factor? And even before that, we have to be able to decide what their dimensions are. So for figure A, we have that it's 3 units tall and 6 units wide. So the length is 3 and the width is 6. For letter B, which we're checking if it's similar to letter A, we can see that it's 5 units in length and 11 units in width. So it's 11 of these squares wide. So in order to check for similarity, we need to find if these two have the same scale factor. So what I'll be doing below is I'll be redrawing these figures, and they don't have to be perfect. I have figure A, that's 3 units by 6 units, I just should say, and figure B, which is 5 units by 11 units. Now I want to see what the scale factor going up is. So I need to figure out what do I multiply 3 by in order to get to 5. So I'm going to write an equation to help me solve this. I know that 3 times a number s, I don't know what the scale factor is, so I'm just going to write s, is equal to 5. Now in order to solve for s, I'll need to use some opposite operations. Now the opposite of multiplying is dividing, so I'll divide both of these by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, that cancels out. And 5 divided by 3 will give me 5/3. So the scale factor is equal to 5/3, or if I want to check for a decimal, I can do 5 divided by 3, which gives me 1.6 repeating. Now I found the scale factor between the lengths, the 3 and the 5. What I've not done is checked if the scale factor is the same from 6 to 11. So I could check again for the same scale factor, or I could just check if 6 times 1.6 repeating will give me the same value. So here I'll check if 6 times 1.6 repeating will give me the same scale factor. So I'll multiply this number right here, the 1.6 repeating, times my 6, which is my width over here, and I get 10. So I know that these are not correct. So 6 times 1.6 is not 11. So I know that these are not similar to one another. So A and B cannot be similar to one another. Now next, I want to check if A and C are similar. Now before I do that, you'll notice that C is a little bit longer than A is, and it's a little bit shorter than A is as well. So what I'm going to do to make this easier on myself is I'm going to rotate this, because I feel like if I rotated it, there's a chance they could be similar. So I'll rotate this, I'll match this up with another block so it's easier to count. And again, just like last time, I know that A is 3 units tall and 6 units wide. C is 4 units in length and 7 units wide. So now I'll copy these shapes down below to check if they're similar to one another. So again, I have figure A, that's 3 units by 6 units. I have figure B, which is a little bit bigger. That's 4 units by 11 units for figure C, I should say. Now I can check for similarity. Now 3 times a number equals 4, so I'm going to write an equation to help me solve that. 3 times 4, I'm sorry, not 3 times 4, but 3 times s is equal to 4. And now I have to solve for s, because that will tell me my scale factor. Now 3 divided by 3 will cancel out. 4 divided by 3 is my scale factor, so 4/3, or if I use my calculator, 4 over 3 will give me 1.3 repeating. So on your worksheet or on your homework or any assignment, you can either put the fraction or you can put what you arrive at your calculator. Now I want to see if the corresponding sides 6 and 11 share that same scale factor, because if they do, then I do have two similar figures. So I'm going to check if 6 times 1.3 repeating will give me 11. And when I multiply this 1.3 repeating by 6, it gives me 7.999. I can round that to be 8, but either way, it does not equal 8. So these figures are not similar either, because 6 times 1.3 did not give me 11. So that's why these are not similar either. Lastly, we have figure D, and just like last time, we're going to rotate this to its side to make it a little bit easier to measure. So again, we have a length of 3, a width of 6. Over here, we have a length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a width of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to check for similarity between the two of these. So I'll redraw these just like you should in your notes. So 3 units by 6 units is A for letter D. That's 5 units by 10 units. I'll check for similarity going the large way. So 3 times a number S is equal to 5. I'll solve for S, and I'll get 5/3. Oops. So S is equal to 5/3. Or I can also check on my calculator. 5 divided by 3 equals 1.6 repeating. Now I need to check if 10 times 1.6 repeating will give me, if 6 times 1.6 repeating will give me 10, because if it does, then they're similar. So I'll multiply this number times 6, and I get 10. So I do know that 6 times 1.6 repeating does give me 10. So these are similar. And I've also found the scale factor for going from a small figure to the large figure between these two. Now, on your assignment, you will also need to find the scale factor going down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find, well, what number do I need to go from 10 to 6? So what I'll do is I'll make a little bit of space for myself. I know that 10 times the number S is equal to 6. I divide on both sides by 10. S is equal to 6 over 10, or it's also equal to 0.6. I can also check if this is the similar factor that I'm looking for between 5 and 3. If multiplying by 6/10 will give me the same answer, then I know definitely that these are similar. So 5 times 6/10 is equal to, let's check the calculator, 5 times 0.6 is equal to 3, which is my missing side over here. So I know that these are definitely similar. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a message on Schoology. If not, good luck.